Hey everybody, Dave Hagan here. It's the holiday season. Do you have a gift-giving plan? That's today on the Financial Wellness Podcast.
Welcome to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to financial success. Here is your host, financial problem solver and talk show host, Dave Hagan.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Financial Wellness Podcast, a holiday edition of the Financial Wellness Podcast. Today with me, Mr. Brian Reed.
Howdy, Dave. Happy holidays.
Same to you. Happy holidays.
Merry Kwanzaa.
Merry. That covers most of it.
There you go.
Brian's in studio today. He's got a string of lights around his neck blinking red, so he's in the festive mood. So
this is true.
We're ready to talk about a holiday gift giving. We're coming to you today from Uncle Studios from beautiful downtown Van Nuys. For those of you in the know, that's kind of near Hollywood. And for those of you that don't care, it's not really that close. It's about, 15 miles from Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I don't know, 10.
About 10? Yeah. So about an hour commute.
Yeah, about an hour. In our traffic,
About an hour in the traffic.
90 to 120 probably.
So we're spending a series of podcasts talking about the holidays and how to get through them and how to enjoy them. And one of the things I thought that we should talk about a little bit is gift giving. I think that that's an important and integral part of the holiday season. So we're going to spend some time talking today about gift giving. And I saw a podcast post on a podcast called everydollar.com. And for those of you that don't know, Every Dollar is a podcast, or not a podcast, it's a website that has a whole bunch of things available in terms of tools and tips and stuff like that. Good podcast. Check it out, everydollar.com. But their article was talking about gift giving and things to do, how to have a productive and thoughtful and cost-saving, holiday season. So let's take a look at these. I think there's like 24 tips. So number one, develop a gift-giving philosophy. So I'm thinking about that and I'm going, well, what's my philosophy? Is it under $20? Is it funny? Is it gag gift? I love gag gifts, but that's, a total waste of money. Value items, meaningful items. I kind of like a gift-giving philosophy, but you got to spend a few minutes to kind of think about it.
And you've got to, take into account all of the people that you're buying for. I mean, are you going to make it like a theme every year that all of Dave's gifts this year are wrapped around the theme of blank?
Yeah, you never know. And maybe the recipients got to be someone that would understand or know your philosophy too. I remember one time I gave a gag gift to a guy, and like the next year he gave me like a gag gift that was even rattier, and then I gave him a gag gift that was even rattier, and it got to be pretty destructive circumstance. And it got to the point we'd leave the gifts at the other's house because I didn't want that stuff in my home.
Here, I got you a rock.
Yeah, I think the final one that took the cake was he gave me a hair back shaver or something. And I just went,
was it used?
That's a little much. Yeah. And I didn't hold it long enough to check it out, So yeah, everydollar.com. Number one, develop a gift-giving philosophy. I like that. Number two, develop a budget.
That's the word.
They use the B word.
Don't use the B word.
No, don't use the budget word. What do we use, Brian?
Plan.
Have a plan. Budget's like a diet. When you're on it, don't want to be on it. But if you got a plan, or it's like an eating plan, you go, okay, I can get behind that. So I like the idea of a budget. In fact, a couple of podcasts ago, we were talking about, pulling out a piece of paper and put together kind of a plan, a grid, a list of people you want to get a gift for, and what the cost might be, and kind of a way to track that. So I like that. Number 3, track your spending. Well, nothing is more of a bummer than tracking your spending. It's like, holy moly. Now maybe, hey, if you got the, what do we call it? The Apple Card, they send you that little piece of software that says, oh, this is all the stuff you've spent. Mm-hmm. Not a real big fan of that particular software. It just doesn't resonate with me as well. But you could keep a little list, and not to the penny. You don't have to include tax and shipping, and hopefully you're not paying shipping. You're using Amazon Prime. But keep a general idea of what you're spending. I don't know. I think that's a good idea, and that was part of what we had put together, like I said, a couple weeks ago. Every dollar plus. Number 3, track your spending. Like it. Number 4, choose time over money. Well, in this life, you've got time, you've got money. It's hard to have both. So if you got to choose one or the other, I guess maybe an experience. What do you think, Brian?
I think so. Maybe, if it's somebody that you haven't spent time with in a while, rather than, I bought you something because I don't have the time to spend on you.
Yeah.
Take him out.
Yeah, take him out. My daughter was asking me, what do you want for Christmas? I'm going, a T-shirt or, whatever. And I was thinking, what do I really want? Well, I'd really like to just sit down and have a meal with her, without the phone going off, and just say, hey, how you doing? Because she lives out of town now. And it'd be nice just to have an opportunity to, to sit down and touch base. And so, yeah, maybe time, maybe doing something together, maybe an experience together. If it's, hey, you could go skydiving together. Now that wouldn't be a way to save money, but it would be an experience.
It definitely would be an experience.
Yeah. I saw something on
Might be your last experience.
I saw something on the internet, or maybe it was Facebook. Maybe the ultimate experience. It was, you get to drive in a Formula One car. They actually let you drive a Formula One car out on a racetrack with other drivers, and you can pass and, like for real. But it was like $400 for 6 minutes. And I thought, that's, I don't know that I'm that big a dog.
Do you actually get to race around with other people who have paid the $400 for the 6 minutes, or are you racing, I guess, more professional drivers? I can't imagine they would let the two of us run around in a Formula One racing car racing each other.
Yeah, I don't think they'd make any money on that with all the broken parts that they'd have to fix. I don't know. I was, I came upon it, and my first thought was, hell yeah. And then I saw the price, and I said, well, I wonder what else is going on, So, but many times you go out and in these cars, or these fancy cars at a racetrack, and you've got someone sitting next to you, and they give you the training and and you really can't do that much. But that'd be a heck of an experience if you're going to give someone an experience, I guess. We were out at a track one time, and I'd actually set it up so my wife could drive it, not a Formula One car, but like a big fancy car, like a super high-end Audi or something like that. And there was a guy there, part of their deal, and he would take you out in his car, for like 2 laps, but you couldn't drive because he drove it, but he'd take you out drifting. So you'd be like scooching around the curve,
nice.
Sideways and stuff. And of course, that lasted 5 minutes and was, I don't know, a couple $100 or something. And then they'd bring the car in and they'd pour water all over the wheels because the wheels were all burned up. He must have gone through a pair of tires like every day. That'd be experience. That'd be something to see. But
so I think, I have some friends around here that for my holidays that I haven't purchased yet, maybe I'll just spend a day with them.
Take them out for
take a lunch and a walk and a hike, and then let's reconnect.
Yeah, go walk on the beach or go. There's lots of things in LA you can go hang out, go see, and spend some time. I like that. All right. How about number 5? Be a sentimental spender. Yeah, that's nice. Give someone a picture that's got some, not just a picture of you, but like if you had a picture of them and you from a special time or something. I kind of like that. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'm down with that. it's got to have some sort of a emotional connection to it. But, a well-framed picture of a good day.
Yeah.
Always a good gift.
Or if you're giving a gift to a brother and a sister, something that you got from your parents who have passed, or, something like that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Number 6, rein in other spending. Oh man, what a bummer. Aren't in the holiday season about just going crazy pell-mell?
No.
I think if you think about it, and I think what they're talking about here is if you think about your spending in relationship with like everything else, and you want to splurge a little bit on a special someone, and you say, well, okay, so I'll rein in some other, I guess that makes sense, even though it sounds initially like a little bit of a bummer, but good idea.
Look, you've got to do it. We all have finite resources, unless you're Bill Gates. Mm-hmm. Got to be done.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense to look at your spending in conjunction with everyone else. Number 7, according to the folks at everydollar.com, shop early. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I think we talked about that on the show a couple of weeks ago. Shop early, get the best selection, get the best deals, get the best free shipping, have it sent to your house early. You buy that, Brian?
No, I totally buy that. It makes sense.
Yeah. So many years, you're walking along around the mall going, oh, what am I going to get for Uncle Charlie or whatever? And, human beings, I think, procrastinate by nature. And I think I have a extra helping of that particular trait. So I try and get it going early, and I think it results in better gifts. Number 8, give fewer gifts. My thought is bah humbug. What's up with that?
Again, I see, you can't give good or even decent presents to every single person in your life. You got to whittle it down.
Yeah. Yeah. What I did one time was in the office. Someone might show up, hey, I got a gift for you, and then you don't have anything for them. So I bought like about 8 pounds of See's candy and all wrapped up, right? And if someone showed up at the office and I go, hey, I got something for you too, I'd write their name on it, at least so you'd have something. It didn't have to be that expensive, but yeah, fewer gifts, especially if your philosophy is more meaningful gifts or something like that. That makes sense. Now, this isn't going to work, I guess, if you you go home for the holidays and you tell your mom, I'm just, one of my things, is fewer gifts. And if you got any complaints, contact the folks at Every Dollar. But that's not clearly what we're talking about. But yeah, fewer gifts, fewer junky gifts, no junky gifts, things that have more meaning, things that fit in with your philosophy. Yeah, I like that. Number 9, spend less on traditions. I don't know. What do you think about that, Brian?
I think a real argument can be made nowadays that maybe we let go of all the Christmas cards.
Well, it's interesting that you would bring that up, and we did not talk about this before the show, but this last week, we've been trying to put together, the Christmas card, and it used to be you'd buy boxes of them and you'd write a little note, and then you'd put in the little newsletter like, this year I cured cancer, and my wife brought about world peace, and, and you go, oh, okay. I actually enjoyed getting those because it's better than just opening a card and it says, wishing you the warmest season, whatever. But, this whole idea of Christmas cards, especially in the electronic age, is it passé or not? I don't know.
Why are we spending the paper or the printing? Because no one's doing the handwritten notes anymore, really. At least I'm getting the pictures of the family that have gone through like Photo Bug or whatever one of those things are. And it's nice to see the pictures. And I think you're right. Now, if you're actually doing a newsletter and there's a reason to send the card, here's the card and here's what's been happening if we haven't talked. But who needs that anymore with Facebook, I guess?
Yeah. Although I got to tell you, when I get a card and it's got a picture on the front, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's, you see how the family's changed from year to year. You go, oh man, Uncle Charlie really let himself go this year. But, families, watching families grow up. And if you think about it in terms of a nice artful creation, you can do so much with your photos now in terms of Mint and some of these other card companies, and they send it to you and it's got the pictures. And I don't know, kind of cool. But it also struck me as, what a waste of paper and postage and time. And, I mean, these are people that you might even talk to every day, every other day, or see every other day on Facebook. So maybe that's changing, I knew a family, and the dad was in the business. He was an editor. And this was, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years ago. They wanted to be cutting edge, and they put out a CD. And so they created like a little movie. It was on a CD, maybe it was a DVD. And I thought that was kind of cool too. But the time that it takes to put that together and then to mail out, I mean, maybe the thing now is, hey, you post it up on a website somewhere, and you send them the URL and the Christmas card, or you just send them a ULR, and embedded in an email and say, hey, click here.
Click here for your Christmas card.
Yeah, and the video comes up and it's you going, fa la 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 la. I don't know. I think with the with the electronic age, things are changing, and it's interesting that you would bring that up. Yeah. Number 10, resist retail marketing. Well, yeah, of course. This was like a big thing. This was one of our big themes a couple weeks ago. Don't walk the malls. I think last year I said don't walk the malls on Christmas Eve and end up getting Uncle Charlie an eraser that looks like a race car or something. I think if you're following these tips that they put together on every dollar, you're hopefully not going to do that or get stuck into that. So, number 11, use old gift cards. Oh, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. What if they found out? What if someone at work gives you a gift card and there's really no money on it? And then you give it to Aunt Tilly and she goes out and goes to use the gift card, and she's sitting there at Olive Garden, and they go, I'm sorry, there's no money on this.
Well, there are those sites. I know I still have some gift cards that theoretically might have some value on them. I never used them, and like you said, I think I actually do have one to the Olive Garden from like years ago.
Yeah.
But if there is still, if the money is still valid on it, I should just go sell it.
Well, yeah, why not?
You can sell it to those. There are companies that will give you, 90% of the value, and they'll take your old gift card and give you the cash.
And why not? I think that's kind of cool. I just recently cashed out some savings bonds that were given to me in 71 and 74.
Oh, wow.
And they were like $25 savings bonds, but after so many years, they stopped accruing interest. And I thought, wow, this was a gift, when I graduated from high school or whatever. And it's kind of cool to have. But I said, well, maybe I'd rather have the couple $100 or whatever it was and find out some meaningful thing to do with that couple $100, But yeah, why have stuff sitting around? Same thing. If you got stuff in the garage, you got some fans or whatever, turn it into money and find some use of the money, because to keep it only takes money. So I don't know. Old gift cards, I worry that there might not be anything on them, or the place might have gone out of business, or that they'll see all the wear scratches from the time it's been in your drawer, and they'll go, oh man, they're like giving me old gift cards. That sucks. I'm not digging that. Yeah. That's just me. Number 12, order online early. Well, of course. I mean, we talked about it on the show, and use Amazon Prime or any of the other services. Whenever I order anything online these days, it's all about making sure that it's Prime, because I don't want to get a good deal and then give it back with shipping costs. Number 13, combine your orders.
This is a big one for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, when you do it right, even if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can avoid that cost and still buy all your Christmas gifts, online from Amazon. But since you've spent a certain amount, no charge.
Yeah. No, I got to love that.
Right to your house.
Yeah. And I think that this also relates to going to the mall, rather than go here and look there and run around. I mean, we used to do a lot more running around in the holidays, going to the different stores, where if you've put together your list, your plan, as we discussed a couple of weeks ago, well, I'm going to go to Best Buy and get 1, 2, 3. So you're saving the gas and the wear and tear on your car and your body and your brain and all the other kinds of stuff. So, combine them together. Make it a little more organized. Not so stiffly so that you go, oh, I don't have my 3 gifts, I can't leave the store. But you can plan ahead, I think, and save yourself, a lot of grief.
And you can also go out, now what's great is in-store pickup. It's even less time.
I've never done that. Have you done that?
It's fantastic.
Really?
You buy it online, and then, I had a situation where I was at one location, needed to get back to where I live, knew where there was a Best Buy along the way, ordered the stuff online, waited until I got the email saying your items have been collected and they're ready for pickup, drove to Best Buy, walked in, paid for it, got all 3 things, walked back out, and it took me 3 minutes.
You gotta love that.
It's pretty much in and out in no time. No crowds. Wow. Well, only a crowd to get through.
The line to pick your stuff up.
To pick your stuff up. But when I was there was only one person ahead of me.
Of course, the downside is you don't get to experience the joy of that hand-to-hand combat over the last item on the table.
Yeah, I'm willing to let that go, Dave.
Save that for the traffic on the freeway.
Yeah, the 120-minute drive for 15 minutes 15 miles.
Oh, man. Number 14, sell your stuff. My thought about this is, really? Sell your stuff? So you show up at the family thing in a pair of skivvy shorts and you go, I sold everything, so I have gifts for Auntie Em and Uncle Morty. I don't know. I mean, I guess I get it. You should do that all year long if you got stuff you don't need or use, but I don't know.
I see where they're going with this. They're not, it's fun to make fun of a little bit, but at the same time, look, if you've got some old stuff that you're just holding on to because you just have been lazy, there's lots of ways to sell stuff online right now.
You show up at the family thing to your parents and you give to your mom and dad, here's a piece of highly collectible, sought after baccarat crystal. But I have to leave in an hour because my Uber's showing up because I sold my car to get you this crystal. I get your point. 15, get thrifty with stocking stuffers. Now, I never understood this. In my family, they always put stuff in there, like little pieces of candy or whatever. My dad used to always get a piece of coal. So we would go through the ritual of Dad crying because he got a piece of coal. That was part of our Christmas routine.
Traditions.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be fancy stuff in there, little pieces of chocolate or fruit or, a pen or something. I guess. It doesn't have to be really expensive.
No.
Okay, I like that. 16, make presents. Well, if you have the talent to do it, maybe.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you have some talent. The other night we were buying some candy for some gifts, and I wanted like 2 1-pound boxes wrapped together, and this poor gal behind the counter. She wrapped them together, but it was like when she handed it to me, it was almost like they were in a bag. The wrapping was so loose, and I thought, you got to have the talent. You got to start with the talent. But there's nice stuff that you can make. You can make a DVD, you can make a little video, you could, I don't know, stuff like that, I guess.
Look, if you have the talent and you put that kind of time in, I mean, that's a real gift.
Yeah, that's true.
That's literally a real gift. You spent time, effort, and money on something,
But it's got to be something that's nice that they'll like, not something that they'll go, when they leave, I can get it into the fireplace. I love that old line by George Carlin. He says, nail 2 pieces of wood together and some schmuck will buy it. 17, donate to charity. Oh, okay. I like that. We've tried to do that in the past. If you go, well, we gave $50 in your name to, my American Heart Association. That doesn't have really a whole lot of impact unless they've got chest pain, I suppose, right? But we've made gifts to World Hunger organizations, and so they'll go, enough money's been donated so that a duck or a chicken can be donated to someone in a village in a developing country, and that chicken will provide eggs and blah, 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 blah. Hopefully they won't eat the chicken. They'll let the chicken lay eggs.
Think long term.
Yeah. And we did that one year as a theme in our family. And so all of our gifts were like, a donation. And so someone got a goat and someone got a duck and someone got a tree. And it, maybe the family was just too young because they all looked at us and go, well, where's the duck? And it's like, no, it's like for a family. It was really meaningful.
So I'm getting a duck? Cool.
Yeah. Maybe I was just a little too ahead of the time because the family was young. But I think that's a great idea. And there's all sorts of World Hunger groups out there. There's all sorts of charities out there. I like that. Number 18, shared experiences. Yeah, okay. we talked about that a little bit with it being time, not money. Shared experiences, that's cool. 19, make more money.
Okay, well, that seems a little obvious, but
I mean, nothing.
How to combat your holiday losses because of all the money you have to spend? Just make more money.
Yeah, this seems counterintuitive or counterproductive to all the things that we've talked about. I was thinking because, nothing says Merry Christmas like driving Uber to pay for gifts. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you are being financially focused and working a couple shifts, driving an Uber gets you the extra couple $100 to get someone you love something nicer. All right.
I get that. Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
But just make more money sounds kind of base.
Yeah.
Maybe they need a different little title on that, the people over at, Every Dollar. But I get that. Okay. Yeah. Number 20, live by the list. I mean, this is the plan that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I mean, you can't be just completely rigid about it. But your list should reflect your philosophy, should reflect your time, should reflect your budget. Remember we said, a couple weeks ago that your total holiday spend should be about 1% of your annual income. It's just a rule of thumb. I think that's kind of high, but there's a lot of places that'll say that. But okay.
Plus it kind of protects you from forgetting someone and having to spend more than you would want to because you have no time left.
Yeah. Christmas Eve and you're dialing around to Lexus dealers. Go, can you deliver in an hour for someone that you just met once at work? Oh, number 21, say no to random gift exchanges. Well, yeah, because usually it's little stuff. It's not people that you know that much. I guess you can just not be there or just say, I just choose not to participate. Or if the price is low enough, hey, under $20 or it's only going to be coffee products. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, white elephant gift exchanges, it's usually just stuff that's going to go straight into a landfill.
Yeah, or goes in the garage, and 3 years later you go, where the hell did that crawl in from? Number 22, go in on a group gift. I like that, especially at work, or we're doing that more among the family. That's cool, and that puts the decision making among a group of people and spreads out the cost. I like that. Number 23, regift. No way, dude. I don't know. People talk about this every year. It's a topic of conversation. I just don't feel comfortable regifting stuff. How about you?
No, it's never going to happen.
I mean, it's logical. It makes sense. I just, I'd rather take it back and get the money, like you said earlier. So yeah, I'm not digging regift, not at all. Number 24, don't shop at the mall. Yeah, okay. Okay, we talked about that at the podcast. I go to the mall to look at the little Santa place where they take the pictures of little kids. The families are all smiling in the Santa. And, it used to be there'd be like a little chair or a booth for Santa. We went to a place, they built Santa like a house with ramps coming up and electronic stuff going on. And wow, how things have changed. But yeah, if you're walking the mall up and down looking for gifts, that's pretty tough. Although, we were at a mall a couple nights ago. We went and had dinner and walked around a couple things we needed to pick up. And it's not so much like the Brookstone and the Schemlicher stores anymore. It was Amazon. Amazon 4, I think, was the name of it. And they had all sorts of like little, $20, $40, $100 gifts. And it was kind of an interesting little walkthrough to see a new design, a new concept. And so that was
how shopping is going to be now.
Yeah. And the guy
Does anyone even go to a mall anymore?
Well, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people walking around, but I don't think a lot of people were buying stuff. Yeah, it's better. I mean, if you could buy it at the mall, you can get it online at the same price with free shipping. Yeah, drop it at the front door. That way I don't have to carry it home. Number 25, wrap gifts creatively. Okay, I know one year I wrapped gifts in aluminum foil. Yeah, with colored ribbon. That looked kind of cool. One year we wrapped them all in brown paper. It was kind of a more traditional kind of look. Not the side out that says pavilions on it, but you put that inside. Actually, it was brown paper that we bought on a big old roll, but kind of a different look, something a little different, and it added a little bit of festivity to it.
I've done just wrapping in tissue paper instead of normal traditional wrapping paper just because I ran out. But then I went, actually, this kind of works.
It's kind of cool. I like the bags because you can save the bag for next year. You put them in a box, throw them in the garage, sealed bag or sealed box, because it's when you wrap them in paper, you pull all this paper and you got like the big trash can bag full of paper that's just, they can't even put it apparently in the landfill too much because it's got aluminum foil and embossing and inks and stuff on it. So it's not really that recyclable. So I think that alternate ideas, recyclable ideas, I think those are all good ideas. So anyway, those are 25 ideas from Every Dollar. Check out their website, everydollar.com. And thank you, Every Dollar, for writing a great article and allowing Brian and I to comment on it. So how about some gift ideas, Brian? Last minute gift ideas. This show is going to drop, about 10 days or so before the holidays. How about some ideas for gift ideas? I got one. Waze security camera. WYZE, Waze Security. $20 little camera. It's about 2 inches square. It's a box, and you plug it in and you connect it to an app on your phone, and it's like a little camera. You could like set it by the front door, and you'll have that on your iPhone. You could set it, somewhere for security purposes or for fun purposes or whatever. Kind of fun to play with, and $19 right now.
Can't beat that.
No, I mean, amazing picture, amazingly easy to set up, and $19 for that. It could be a fun little toy. You could do that for a gift exchange even. I saw another thing on the internet. This just drove me crazy. SoundBot Bluetooth wireless smart beanie headset at Amazon, $16.99. It like a ski cap that's got speakers built into it, and you attach it to your phone.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. There's one for runners where it's just, the top of the head is open.
Yeah.
But it's the band.
The band that goes around.
And they got the headphones right in there.
Wow. So you're walking down the street with your beanie on and your head is projecting sound. That could get you arrested in some places. Oh, man. How about some, good books? I think good books are always a good idea. This year we talked about The Wealthy Barber by David Chilton. A nice, interesting read. It's been around forever. One year I went and got a guy came out with a book about Patton, General Patton, and I got a copy of the movie Patton from years ago with George C. Scott and combined them together. And that was a very unique one-off gift that cost, $20-25 maybe altogether. We always loved The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. You can't go wrong with something like that. There's a book from last year, big book last year, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. That sounds like a really great book. Someone gave it to me and didn't read it. Still on the nightstand. Turns out it's a little too heady for somebody like me, but maybe that's going to be one of my resolutions to take a look at that. You can give somebody a video. One year we sent out a video, one of our favorite movies, Thomas Crown Affair with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo. And with a little note that says this is one of our favorite movies. Hope you enjoy it, because it's got some meaning to it. It's not just here's the latest slash flick.
Yeah, especially if you've maybe had a conversation about that at some point in time back during the year, and then it becomes kind of a personalized gift as well.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. There's something out there called Masterclass, and people have put together a video of their area of expertise. And it's a website, and you can get somebody unlimited access. I think it's $180 for unlimited access for a year. Expensive gift, so maybe you give it to a couple or something. But they've got some really interesting stuff. Gordon Ramsay, has a video on cooking, and Steve Martin, his approach to comedy, and Penn and Teller talking about their approach to magic. Here's one that I would really like to see: Steve Curry from the Golden State Warriors talking about shooting, ball handling, and scoring, because, I do a lot of that in everyday life.
Yes, you do.
But they say he's just amazing. In fact, people show up just to see him warm up at games because apparently he puts on quite a exhibition. Gary Kasparov talks about his look into chess, how he plays chess. He was a chess champion. Malcolm Gladwell talks about writing. Christina Aguilera talks about singing, because I could be taught to sing like her, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you would look just as good in a dress, Dave.
Yeah. With that, we're going to move on. Aaron Franklin talks about Texas-style barbecue.
There you go.
He's one of the big barbecue guys, and to learn how to barbecue. There's one by Brian Reed on podcasting. No, that's not a master class. What are you talking?
That is not a master class, dude.
That's two guys in a studio having a good time.
Exactly.
How about giving somebody the gift of meditation? We talked about meditation at some point earlier in the year. You can get someone a Headspace subscription for, I don't know, $80, $90, maybe $100. There's other sites. We're not pitching Headspace. There's Calm. There's Insight Timer. You could even get someone, a podcast to a podcast. You know, like the Financial Wellness Podcast. What about that?
Ooh, that's how much is that?
What do you think we get? $25 for that?
I think we could get more than that.
Maybe 50, $100, $200, $200,
$300.
$300,
$1,000.
$1,000, $1,000. So what you could do is, you don't have to tell them that it's free, everybody.
Exactly.
You don't have to tell them it just comes to you free, but, put together a little gift certificate and says, hey, I got this for you for $1,000, and it'll be more value added.
If you need it, write to us and we'll send you an autographed picture.
Yeah, we'll send you a picture and a certificate evidencing the fact that you paid $1,000 for a one-year
subscription,
podcast subscription. How about you, Brian? Any thoughts on Christmas gifts?
You know what? I think the one of my ideas, and I've done this for a couple people. Most of the Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, now Disney Plus, people do those on the reoccurring charges. Mm-hmm. So you can get a prepaid those things for them. Mm-hmm. They get to watch what they want. Right. And if they're like, oh, sweet, I'll use this every day.
Sure. They'll think about it. And some of those things are better than the Jelly of the Month Club or something,
Yeah, let people have what, here, you go. I'm a big believer of that. You want to try and give them something a little personal, fine, but I'm really functional. Gifts like those. Something that they'll use, something that they'll go, hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, anything else? That's all right about it.
That's pretty simple.
Pretty simple. I'm a simple guy this holiday season.
You're sitting there being simple and you're thinking, and Dave, you've used all the airtime this week.
Seriously? This is pretty long, I think.
This is a long episode, but, we're having some fun, and I think people will get a kick out of it. Interestingly enough, I was talking to someone about the podcast, and they said one of the things they really like is you guys keep it to 30 minutes. You're in, you're out, you deliver your information, you're entertaining, but you're not going to sit there for an hour and a half listening to blah, blah, blah. And so
we're probably pretty close to that in this one.
Yeah. But we're talking about gifts, man. We're talking about Christmas. We'll get back to our regular time, but we've had a good time. So what are our takeaways from this? Have a plan. Put some thought into your gift giving. Don't wander around the mall. Look for meaning and value in this holiday season, and as you're getting together your gifts for the holiday season.
And make sure it's real value.
Make sure not perceived.
Yeah.
We're all going to be driving around a racetrack here in Formula One racers or something.
So not going to happen.
$400 for 6 minutes. That's a value.
Not going to happen.
All right. That's all we got today. We're running really late on time. No emails. Tune in next week. This is Dave Hagan, and you've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast.
You've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to financial success. If you have a question that you would like Dave to answer on the podcast, go to thefinancialwellnesspodcast.com. You can leave an audio message with one click of a button, or type your message into the question box. Either way, it's sent right to Dave's phone. Remember, Dave will randomly draw from the submitted questions and pick the winner of a free 1-hour personal conversation with Dave to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you receive the new episode notifications, or share the podcast via the app with your family and friends. This is your announcer, Nick Appel, wishing you every financial success.